Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug episode 245 on Monday the 22nd of July 2013. Yes, it is getting weirder. I am your host Stephen Layton, and this week I have only our second Guatemalan of the year, but more of that after the news. We like the new news titles. Video player issues of last week on Firefox. Hopefully that is all resolved. I fixed one of the buttons too. I can't fix the other buttons just yet, but I'm still working on it. Thank you for your patience. It plays, it works, and I think it loads and works better. I hope you think so too. New Nicaraguans have gone on the site, went on the site Friday. Remember Funky of last year where we did the Funky and Elegant twin pack? Well, we have Funky, we have Elegant, now we have Funky-er. This is a slight change in the processing, just a little bit more, and they are all completely different. So they're the same varietal, same processing method, just turned at different times. And they are really, really interesting. You should definitely go and have a look. They will not be an In My Mug alert. Yes, dive in, give those a try. They are very, very special, and the Funky-er is madder than Madville. Mr. Mad went to Madtown. Anyway. In My Mug is a quarter of a century old soon. Nearly 250 coming up. And it's time for a revamp, it's time for a bit of a mix-up, it's time for a change. We've had all of this and all of this format for the last 45. We are going to be changing at 250, and it is a chance for you to give your opinions. So dive in and let me know through the usual channels. And that was the news! It is now time for 20 seconds on. And 20 seconds on this week is on the city of Antigua. Antigua is a city in central highlands of Guatemala, famous for the well-preserved Spanish Barresque influence architecture, and has a number of spectacular ruins and colonial churches. It's been designated a World Heritage Site and is so special. On September the 29th, 1717, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Antigua and destroyed 3,000 buildings. Much of the city's architecture was ruined. It's never enough, is it? So much of the architecture was ruined. Then in 73, the Santa Marta earthquakes again destroyed much of the town, which led to the change in the location of the city. Then in 1976, the Spanish crown ordered that the capital be taken away from Antigua and moved to Guatemala City, which is the modern day capital as it now stands. The new city didn't retain its old name and was christened, what is it now? Nueva Guatemala de la Ascensión, which means New Guatemala of the Assumption, and is the patron saint. I'm trying to think of the story. So, the patron saint of Assumption is Our Lady of Assumption. Basically, the town has moved several times. The capital city used to be there, and it's moved now, and it's just such a beautiful town. If you've ever been to Guatemala, you will have been to Antigua, because it's where all of the tourists and the coffee buyers go to. It's an amazing place, very, very beautiful. And if you haven't been, you really should. The architecture is stunning. It's all this Spanish Barresque stuff. Anyway, we're not here to talk about architecture. We're here to talk about coffee. This week's coffee is called Las Nubes, which basically translates as the clouds, and is an absolutely amazing farm on the slopes of the Acatenango, I can say it, volcano, facing the city of Antigua. Mostly planted with Bourbon, but there is a little Cultura. This is the Bourbon. A lot of the time they are combined together too. Farm's been a coffee plantation since the 70s, so it's a fairly new farm in the grand scheme of it. And since then has basically sold the coffee under that name. Participated in the Cup of Excellence back in 2008 and was one of the finalists. But he's also part of the famous San Sebastian group. San Sebastian is a farm in Antigua, and there are lots of little outlying farms from it, and this is one of them, and it's owned by the same family, the Fala family, and there are other farms in there like the La Tacasita, La Travesia, and Santa Catalina is the ones I know. And we will be seeing some of these coffees come in the shipment that's going to be coming, because this one was basically ordered as a gap until our container arrives, which will be here next week. So very, very excited about that. So the numbers, farm is called Finca Las Nubes. Las Nubes is a very common name in Guatemala, so we shall be calling this Las Nubes Antigua. It is owned by Pedro and Juan Jose Fuela. The city in the nearest kind of municipality, if you like, is called San Miguel de Ranas. The region is Antigua. It is very close to the Antigua city of Guatemala. The farm size is 53 hectares, has an altitude of 1,500 metres up to 1,850 metres. The variety is Bourbon and Catora, and it is washed and sun-dried on patios. And that is as much as we have. I actually visited this farm, not this farm, but San Sebastian in January last year, and had a really cool time on the farm. They have a little buggy you can whiz round on, and it's an incredibly picturesque and beautiful farm. You should go look at the set of San Sebastian on flickr.com/hasbeen. But yes, let's go and do the wonderful, the amazing, the interesting map bit.
It's the map bit, no expense spent. It's the map bit.
Hello, and you know the drill by now. We go down, we go up, we go to the left and across to the wonderful, beautiful Central America. And we should find some more about this beautiful, wonderful continent. So, coffee growing countries, well, total of 7 countries, total of 7 coffee growing countries. Population 41 million, surface area just over twice the size of the UK. So, yeah, kind of that's why they have so much land, smaller population, bigger area. Now we're focusing on Guatemala today, which is to the north of Central America. We're going to get down and dirty into the details. We can kind of see El Bosque sitting there, but we're going to be looking at something else. But let's look into Guatemala. So, the facts of the country. Our little globe spins, and the name is Guatemala. A population of 14.7 million. Around about half the size, just under half the size of the UK, but you know, a significantly, like, a quarter of the population, so a lot more land than we have here in sunny old England, or sunny old UK, sorry, I get told off for that. So let's get down into Antigua, and now we can see Antigua just to the right, the city, it is a city, I keep forgetting, so we can see the city there. And you get an idea of the farm. But let's look at the farm, actually. Let's ask Dale the cow to tell us all about it. So the farm is called Finca Las Nubes. Altitude of 1530 to 1860. The Bourbon varietal, and the nearest town is San Miguel de Ranas. So this farm is called Las Nubes. It is processed at San Sebastian. And San Sebastian is the neighbouring farm. Let's look at Antigua first and then go down into... So this is the drying patch. You can actually see the coffee drying on the patios there. So this is as close as I can get. I can't find actually Las Nubes details, but it is part of San Sebastian. It is kind of the same place. And there's a little bit of a fancy view. And we come out and you can see the coffee, it's drying there. And that was the map bit.
Hope you enjoyed that. It is now time for Gluey's Daft Fact of the Week.
Roland's Daft Fact of the Week.
Every once in a while, Fuego, one of Guatemala's 3 active volcanoes, adds a fresh dusting of mineral-rich ash to this farm's soil.
Roland's Daft Fact of the Week.
So nearly time to make the coffee, but now it's time for the Wheel of Death. And I've no idea what it's going to be today, but where it goes, nobody knows, and nobody... Oh, that was close. Ah! Oh, it's iced latte. How did that happen? Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, so we're going to do an iced latte. That's really good, you know, because it's baking hot in here. And I am back, so I am going to dive straight into the espresso. Give it a little stir. So the first thing I noticed from the aroma is that this smells like sticky sweet. And I like my espressos to be sweet. Not sweet sugar sweet, but sweet. And this is sweet. You get a lovely caramel. Really lovely mouthfeel to it. Kind of little hint of like grape-like acidity to it as well, but very delicious. That's very good. So I'm going to reuse my spoon for me iced latte. Now, I don't like cold coffee drinks. I rarely enjoy them. But if I'm going to have any iced coffee drink, it's going to be iced latte. And that's... Sorry, one moment. Shh. Just going to plunge. My 4 minutes is up. If you don't know how to do a French press, I suggest you go look at the French press brew guide. This is one of the Espro presses, and I really like these because they give you a very clean cup. They're expensive, but worth it for sure. Really are. So, as I was saying, I don't like iced coffee drinks normally, but if I'm going to have one, it's going to be an iced latte, and that's because the sweetness of the milk makes it better. Like, iced coffee tends to kind of go very bitter. Even the slow brew stuff, and I don't care about those slow drip ones. We've got some here. I've used it a lot. It doesn't make tasty and delicious drinks. I've tried the iced, like V60 Fretto one. Doesn't make tasty and delicious coffee. But when you add milk, it kind of evens it out a bit. So it's like coffee flavoured milk. And in this weather, it's really nice. Like, I am so hot. In the roastery at the minute, it is boiling because we're sitting upstairs. All the heat of the roasters comes up. It really is warm. So that is very much appreciated. It's actually really nice. That's quite pleasant, in fact. I may have another one later. The Espro. Yeah, I just fancied something a bit different. I haven't had one for a while. But let's dive into this. I hope it doesn't, the temperature of my mouth is going to change because of the ice, but this is where it comes alive for me. Like, it is sweet, it is smooth, you get lots of biscuit tones in there as well, and it reminds me very much of those Rocky bars because of the caramel, biscuit, milk chocolate, all mixing together in there. It is an absolutely delicious coffee. So no, it is very good. I'm going to go back to this as well. It's the best way to drink coffee with milk. Oh, yeah, no, that's very good. Okay, so we should move on to our pinboard of doom. And our pinboard of doom today has come in. I'm being very professional. Do you like that? It's come in from Graham Stewart. Listen, Graham, thank you very much. I think Gaz should have introduced that one actually, because yes, Gazzy's gas. But yeah, thank you very much, Graham. I wonder if it's Graham Stewart of the cricket. No, he'll be commentating on the Ashes, won't he? And now it's time for Steve's Vine of the Week. And I've got one more in front of this one, and then I've got none. That was very kindly sent to us by Dick Thomas. Thank you for that. As I say, I have one more left in the queue to be used. I'm going to be making the Vine stroke... Actually, we shouldn't say Vine of the Week. Steve's Vine and Instagram movie video of the week. But we're also going to be... We're very happy to accept your Instagram ones too. I think we're going to be making more of that from episode 250 as well. So keep them coming to keep it alive, and I'm sure you'll like what's coming with that. As I said in the news, do tell me if you've got any ideas on how we could progress and develop in my mug. It's very important for me to keep this fresh and moving and new. So thank you very much for joining me as always, and do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.